Okay, we are live.
Good morning, guys. Saturday, 10 a.m. We're going to be here every Saturday. We're still working on deciding on Wednesdays. Want to see how busy it's getting. But on Wednesdays, on our other social medias, we're on TikTok also. Very busy. After this at 10:30, we're on TikTok. Super busy. It's actually a theater full of an audience. That's how big it is. But the markets, that's what we're here for. They don't slow down. You're going to hear this out of my mouth every Saturday. You can't believe what's going to happen this week. We've seen it again. Monday, the market crapped out just because of Chairman Powell. They might fire him. The market gets nervous, gets out. Then you hear there's going to be a little bit of a settlement with China. Market bounces, then it extends, has some decent earnings, nothing that jumps out. The market gets caught short again. So you get extremes. But you know what's happening through all of this? No one is making money. That's the scary part. Okay, you look at people now. I talk to my networks. I got friends all over the world. I talk to them in the middle of the night. No one is making money. People are just trying to figure out how to make back money. So when you got that, you have a different attitude. You know what your attitude is? You're always chasing. You don't want to miss the news. You don't want to feel like you missed the boat. You know what? That boat, no matter what, it's going to keep coming back. What you got to do is patience. We said this with our group a few times this week. We had good days all week. No great days, no explosive days. We made money every day. And you know what I keep saying? We had a good day today, guys. You know why? Because we didn't trade. What we have on with our stories, they worked our way. We guided them through, and we're piecing out. As the market is bouncing here, we're selling out of our positions, cashing them in, getting ourselves flexible. Why? Because I still think this is going to go back and forth like this for a while. One thing we talked about, and we cashed it out, was gold. And we're going to look to put it right back on. We talked about this last Saturday. So the price of gold could drop $200 and still look healthy. Well, it dropped $250 and it still looks healthy. What we're waiting for here is we're waiting for gold actually to go even a little lower from here. Okay, if it gets to around this area, I think that's almost a $350 pullback. That's a $350 pullback in gold. Usually it's on the front page of the Financial Times, but it's nothing here. But it gives you opportunity. So what are we doing with this? We sold out of a lot of our gold stock positions. We're going to put them right back on. These are the ones we're looking at. Let me find them for you. Okay, NGD. This is one we're going to look to put it right back on again. Get a pullback. We got an areas. We belong to the group. You're going to know the areas we're looking at. We're going to look to put NGD right back on. We think it's still going. We don't think this gold story is finished.
Just write out the ticker for them.
Okay, gotcha. Right. That's why I need my help here. NGD. New gold. $3 stock. This is one of our best gold stock for a long time. Why? Because we had this thing at around $1. We've been long gold for about a year and a half. We had it at $1, traded around it, cashed the whole thing in, and now we're trying to piece it all back in if we come back. NGD's been good to us. Silver we've been focusing on. Why? Silver had its first day where silver popped and gold went down. What does it do? It takes away the ratio. It takes away the following. It shows that silver is really there. What happened in silver? Gold was down, and this is silver. Silver had a good week. Look at it. And you know gold is pulling back. What does that tell me? Time to start buying back our silver stocks. Because we sold a lot of them out. We cashed a lot of them out. What do we put on this week? Pan American Silver. Right here, PAAS. This is one we're going to scale into Pan American. I'd love to see this down here. We're going to keep scaling into Pan American Silver. That's our plan for gold and silver. The oil market, we've reached spreads a certain way. We think the oil market is $60. It's the wrong price. I think the fundamentals are there. The sentiment is what makes it buoyant. The market is very bearish here on the lows of $60. We don't think it can stay at 60. We think it can bounce. But we look at the time of the year it is. The time of the year it is, in my opinion, gasoline season, product season, not oil season. Oil is what has the news. Oil is a distraction. We look for the fundamentals. So we like gasoline. We like heating oil. So what do? That's what we bought. Well, gasoline and heating oil. That's a pretty good close. That's what you want to see. Okay, it rejected down here. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. This was so bullish. I mean, it sounds counterproductive, but this was so bullish down here that gasoline can start to work its way higher. And there's no news. This is still sensitive to the upside on news. That's gasoline. So what do? You know, last week, the week before, what did we talk about? What do we trade? Valero, VLO. Well, we've done it again. We bought Valero, 107, 108, 108 and a half, somewhere around there. If you remember, we even made a clip about this. We bought Valero here, we bought Valero here, bought Valero here, sold it out. Now we're looking to put it right back on. We were going to put it on right here. So let me be a little patient. I actually think I might have missed this. But we're going to look to put it right back on if we get down to this area. But we did it again. 5, 6, 7 points. We've done that easily a half a dozen times in the last 9 months. Okay, we're able. Why? Because we trade gasoline with an opinion of demand will overcome supply. Sentiment is giving us an edge. The spreads, which I learned many decades ago how to read, tell me things. So instead of we trade gasoline futures, but we also trade Valero. Think about it. We probably made 7 or 8 times this year, anywhere from 5 to 9 points on this stock. Sounds like you made 40, 50 points on a stock that's $110 just by taking the trades that are there. We are not investors. We are traders, and it's working.
What's the ticker for this?
This is Valero, VLO. Okay, this has been our hands down our favorite equity trade when it comes to oil. Okay, we think we got a good pulse on this one, and it's still working. Think about this, guys. We just put the clip out. We made it. So we're buying it here, buying it here, buying it here, and we did it. Got up here, sold it out. Now we're looking to put it right back on again if it pulls back. Okay, that's our opinion there. Energy, our opinion in metals, stocks. You tell me. If you have a strong opinion, you can tell me where stocks are going. I'll listen to you because I don't think there is a direction. I think the market gets itself caught. It gets itself bearish on the bottom, gets itself a little lubed up on the highs, which is, in my opinion, is only a bounce. I still think the market's only got bounces in it, but there's no direction. So people are chasing money. We won't chase the money. Any questions?
Guys, if you have any questions, post it in the chat here. I'm more than happy to answer any trading questions you have.
Okay. What do we got setting up this week? In my opinion, the grains are starting to set up. The foods are starting to set up. So what are we looking at? We're looking at the wheat markets. That's what we think is going to turn here. Okay, we bought some Kansas City wheat, which is a different grade of wheat. We bought some Chicago wheat. There's different grades of wheats. So we bought wheat here. There's no real equity you could buy that'll give you that exposure. The only thing that we have on that gives us, we're bullish grains down here. So you know how we get long grains equity-wise? There's not a wheat stock or a corn stock. There's got these ETFs, which they don't work. But we look for the peripheral stuff. What do we look for? Processors. Fertilizer company. We talked about Bunge. We've been long Bunge 3 times in the last 6 months. Look at Bunge now. It's starting to go. BG. EG. Here we go. Food processor. Starting to go. What have we talked about? And we talked about this even last week. We even made a clip about this. Mosaic. Fertilizer company. We think that's the next one to go. Look at it. Bang. Okay? Those are the ones. So even if you can't find what you like, you got to realize there's ripple effects. And the ripple effects will give you the opportunities. So instead of buying wheat or trying to buy the wheat ETF, which doesn't give you any leverage, what do? Fertilizer. And the thing is, we've been following this for a while. And we've been sitting on fertilizer for a while. You know, and I'm trying to be nice about this. We were sitting on a pile of fertilizer. And it sounds like every time with my mouth, it came out like fertilizer. But the thing is, you got to deplete the abundance. And now it's starting to go. And now if the dollar is going to reprice, and if grains are going to hold, then you start to look at what creates grains, what processes grains, what do you need for grains. Fertilizer is the big one, and I think this is the best one. I think this one has got monster room on the upside. Big time room. I think you can see this here. I don't even think on this chart is where I'm looking for. Our targets are a lot higher. Okay? So that's our opinion on the food side.
Ticker?
Ticker, yes. Sorry about that, yes. I gotta remember this. Sorry guys, I just try to speed it up a little. It's the wrong way to do it. MOS. Mosaic.
All right, we have some questions here for
Beautiful.
you. Are you working with the stop loss on your trades?
We always have stop losses. Now, I'm in front of my screens all the time. So my stop loss, I give everybody a heads up where we think we're wrong. We trade things with stories. Why? Because if this price trades here, here, or here, and you have the same story, you're trading a number. You're not trading a value. We trade something that if it pulls back and we still like it because the story is there, we will massage and stay in the game. Every stop, everything has a stop. You don't just sit there and wear things forever. So everything has a stop loss area in mind. And that's usually, you keep that in mind if the market's going down because of that, because of the sector, or because of the overall market. That's how we adjust our stops.
Next question is from Randall. He's asking about SBSW.
SBSW, it's one of my largest positions. Okay, and I think the platinum and palladium markets are primed to go higher. Let me show you those two first. Palladium trades around cost of production. So when you see that, it's a waiting game. Inevitably, you sit there and wait. It doesn't cost you anything in the palladium futures. We sit there. We have it on now. But inevitably, when it goes, it starts to go. So owning something at cost of production is a positive. Platinum, in our opinion, the platinum market the fundamentals have changed over the last 10 years to now. So now if there's any kind of demand, it'll expose the supply side and it could go. So if you like platinum, if you like palladium, you gotta like SBSW, and we do. It's one of our largest positions. I'm gonna put it up, and our plan is to hang on to this one for a while. This is SBSW, and you can see. Now, this is what I would have loved to have seen this thing hold this area. So what we need next week, we need the thing to at least sit around here and get back above. If it gets back above here, we're off to the races again. We're gonna have a gap up, gap up, gap up. Okay? Now you gotta pay attention because it could easily fall down to here or easily fall down to this area. In this area doesn't mean anything in SBSW. Coming in above here, we're ready for the next move. Holding this area means we may look to, I don't know if I'm gonna add anymore because I have my full position on. Okay, we've been buying this for a while. Okay, this looks very constructive. SBSW. I'll put it up. SBSW. Okay.
All right. Those are all the
Good
questions.
other questions?
Yep.
Okay. Now let's go over some more views that we have. Stock market. Okay, guys, if you can figure out what the stock market's going to do, good for you. I mean, you have an edge because I don't think there is an opinion. If you notice, even opinions out there, they go with the flow. When the president says something, it's news sensitive, you got to get out of the way. When he says something that's constructive, you got to get in. Okay, but in the interim, you're caught. All you're doing is getting yourself seasick here. Who is really making money? Okay, someone like Tesla had such bearish sentiment, bearish earnings. We traded Tesla twice in March because of bearish sentiment. We made 50 points and 30 points. Just a couple of directional trades last month. Same thing happened again. I'm just using Tesla as an example. Think of how the bearish sentiment this was. Then you had bearish earnings. Look what happened. Same thing. I'm saying these are traps. The market is traps when you get bearish sentiment. Now that the market is bouncing, I think the traps are on the upside. I think everyone's getting comfortable. I know, and I think all the market is seeing at best is a bounce. I don't use the word rally anymore in the stock market because I don't think it's there. So now I'm looking for opportunities to get short. That's the way I look at things right now. So I'm looking at opportunities here in some of the big names because that's the ones people want to jump in. Okay? Got NVIDIA coming out. If it gets to an area, we have failure areas. If you belong to the group, you'll know the areas we look at. We call them failure areas because you get up there and they stop. And we consider that a failure and they can correct. So if in our opinion is the market's only going to bounce, there's a lot of failure areas. This is one we're going to be looking for next week if we get up there. NVIDIA. Same thing. I'm going to put up a couple other names that we think are only bouncing. Apple's a different story. People always talk about Apple. Apple's its own sector. I don't look at Apple as far as that. I look at things like Amazon. I look at things like Google. All right. Just as indicators. Because if they go to those areas and fail, then they have peripheral, and they have the peripheral stocks or the ripple effects will go down with it. And that's the opportunities that we get.
We have a question on coal. What are your thoughts on coal right now?
Coal. You know what? We had coal. We have coal on right now. I'll show you what we have. And it's not working. Coal was supposed to be a hot sector. Okay, it was getting flows. But it got flows in the coal sector, lithium, uranium. They like the flavor of the month. That's fine. For about 3 or 4 weeks, you'll get everybody getting in. But if there's no other flavor, they get stale. And the coal's the same thing. It had interest. The president was looking into it, and it got flows for a few weeks and then stopped, and it got stale. So now it's pulling back. Unless it gets another wave of being the flavor of the month, you might be sitting on dead money. I think we're stuck too. We have money in coal too. It's not working.
Okay, next question. Sal's asked about rig. What's your take on rig?
Rig is up. Our largest oil stock. This is one I just think is too cheap down here. I mean, well, too cheap because I've been wrong the whole way. But the thing is down here, the way I look at it, what's the most sensitive side? Okay, I'm not long from down here, guys. I'm long from here. I'm long from here. I got rig at not good prices. I'm holding it because I think if there's anything sensitive, it's going to bounce. If you come out with bearish news, where's it really going to go at this point? It's not a company that's going to go bankrupt. It's been through all its lawsuits from 15 years ago. So it's sitting here. If the oil market turns, the oil market gets where it's supposed to be, this should start to go. But until it gets above here, I think we might be sitting for a while. It's my largest oil position. We trade around the other ones. This one I'm sitting on. I'm not going to add anymore. That's enough for me. Okay? Like I said, I don't have it on here. I got it on up here. So I'm waiting for it to go.
Okay, we have a comment here. Sir, I'd like to collaborate with you. Send us a message if you're interested in collaborating.
Yeah.
Always open to it. We have a question. Do you read currency pairs?
Of course we do. I watch currencies all the time. I just think you got to pay attention. What we do is every currency. I'm a commodity guy. Every currency is commodity sensitive. There's a certain currency will move certain commodities, and I look at that all the time. And I think the dollar overall right now is going to still correct on the downside. So if it does, I'm looking for the attractive currencies, and I look for the attractive currencies, and I look for what commodity will be sensitive to it. So I do watch the pairs all the time. What I do think you got to keep on your radar, and we've had this on, we had the Canadian dollar on. People would say it's the other way around. I think no. I think you got to have this on this way on the upside. So if you get a pullback, we will be looking at the Canadian dollar. We had this for the ride up, not up here. We cashed out a little. We cashed out earlier in this, but that was one of them. I think the dollar yen you got to pay attention to too, because I think this is more of a yen trade than it is a dollar trade. All the other currencies are dollar sensitive. I think the yen, dollar yen, is yen sensitive. Very different way to look at things. So we look at dollar yen very seriously too, because I think dollar yen is another one that's going to correct, and we're starting to see that as they get out of treasuries. So as we look into fixed income, as we look into the currencies, there's a lot of different factors to keep in mind. But I think overall the dollar's pulling back, and we look for the attractive currency to be long.
All right, those are our questions for now.
All right. I'm trying to think what jumps out here. This is what we got to pay. This we started buying it too early, and now it's starting to show some symptoms, but it's got to start to work now. Natural gas. Okay, this is one thing that I thought it was going to hold this area, and it didn't. And now it's got to do some work. And I think it did the work this week. We started looking at natural gas here. And if you remember, we made a video that this should be a good area. Look how much it kept going. Went down a good area, but why am I in here? I should be in down here. Now it's holding, but it's got to do more than hold. This has got to reject this. And if it does, this will go higher. And natural gas down here is cheap, but if it has some kind of demand, it's not a supply. Okay, natural gas is people look at it as a supply way to trade. I think it's a demand way to trade. You get anything that has demand in natural gas, this thing could bounce quickly. So watch that one. That's on my radar screen right now. Base metals. I think you got to keep your eye on base metals. So I actually think they could breathe a little here on the downside. Okay, copper has a good story when it's stretched on the downside. Then it turns, and then you got to feed it. We've been trading it that way. We got out of our copper stocks. We got out of some of our aluminum stocks this week. Okay, we had Century Aluminum on. We sold it out. We had FCX on. FCX, we sold it out. Just cashing in. We're just cashing in on these trades. We had Tech, TECK, cashed it out. So you can see we're navigating. Navigating has been working. It's been working big time for us. We've been saying this since January. This is not an investor's market. It's a trading market. When it becomes an investor's market, we'll figure it out. But for now, we trade. We haven't hit any home runs this year. But you look at where we are. Some people, they'd be happy if they were just even for the year.
You showing the trade line?
Well, put the trade line up. Yeah, we got time. This trade line over here, right?
Actually, just minimize this, and we can open up this right here.
Right here?
Yeah.
This is our trade log, guys. Okay? It's not. This is realized. Right now, we're sitting at around 75% for the year. Okay, that's where we are for this year. Last year, we were over 100%. And if you look, none of these are home runs. These are all the P&Ls. No home runs. Okay, you don't see anything with a large number. Okay, we trade, and we're going to continue to trade. Everything you see green, you see red. Okay, that's, like I said, it's around 75. That's just realized. But this is what we do. This is what we recognize. You can see all the names, all the things we talk about. Orange Juice, Alcoa, Valero, CENX, Tesla, Mara. Okay? All the names you recognize, all the names we talk about. I'm not making this stuff up. It's all here. Okay? It's here. You can make money trading. I don't know if you can make money investing right now. I wouldn't buy anything down here and say I want to give this to my kids. I don't think so. Would you say that now? Would you say, I want to buy this? I'm so confident. I don't care what happens in the market. I'm saving that for my kids. I don't see it yet. Anything I see that I would like to buy right now, I think I could buy cheaper somewhere down the road this year. So I'm going to wait. But it's here. There's money to be made. Okay? We made over 100% last year. We're up 75% this year. The money is here if you want to get into it. If you want to join, this is us. Where am I going?
Yep, our website is www.RNTR.trading. All right. And if you guys want to join, we have you sign up here from our website. It's at the top of our profile page on YouTube. You can access it and you'll get the monthly, biannual, and yearly. And you'll get access to our Discord where we post our live trades and analysis and commentary.
This is us all day. I'm going to put it up quickly before we go. Okay, we're on chat all day. Anything we trade, we tell you we're trading right here. We trade futures right here. We got Guy Adami from CNBC. He's on our Thursday webinars. Okay, he belongs to us. We have midday clips, tells you exactly our trading plan from the morning to the afternoon. There's always adjustments. The market's full of reversals. All our trades are listed, what's on our radar, what's live, what we're looking at, all of our trades that we did for the week, testimonials, everything is here, guys. This thing is so comprehensive. This is not me. This is our team. Our team built this. This thing works. Trade log. You want to look at any one of those trades which you just did. Okay? So if you want to join, it's minimal. And you can read the testimonies. You get on the chat. You see. I don't have all this on. We all have it on. This is a team effort, and we're all doing well doing it. And none of us have been uncomfortable throughout this whole year. A lot of uncomfortable traders. A lot of people impulsive, panic. Not us at all. So that's what's keeping us in the game. All right. I'll see you guys next Saturday, 10 a.m.
All right. Take care, guys.